Let's talk about the map of the universe you have in your head. And I don't mean the one with planets and galaxies, I mean the older one. The one that might be quietly shaping how you understand some of our most ancient stories without you even realizing it's there. Now, that's a statement designed to make you stop and think, isn't it? It's a real hook. What if our most basic ideas of up and down are actually getting in the way of a much deeper, more profound meaning? So, to get to the bottom of this, we first have to unpack that ancient map of the universe. It's a map that, for literally thousands of years, was just reality. It's a worldview many of us have inherited, whether we know it or not. The basic layout was incredibly simple. You had heaven, God's realm, physically located up there in the sky. You had us, Earth, right here in the middle of everything, and then you had the underworld, or hell, physically down below our feet. Think of it like a simple 3-story building. And listen, this wasn't just some vague folktale. This 3-tiered structure was the consistent, assumed backdrop for pretty much everything from Genesis all the way to Revelation. It was the literal stage where the whole drama unfolded. But here's where things get really interesting. This ancient map eventually smacks right into a huge, undeniable problem when it collides with the modern world. And here it is, the collision. The ancient map describes a world where you could, in theory, point up toward God. But modern science? It gives us a cosmos where up is totally relative, and the same laws of physics apply everywhere. All of a sudden, there's no physical up there for heaven to actually be. And this creates a genuine crisis of faith for a lot of people. If the physical framework, the very stage of the biblical world, is factually wrong, does that wreck the whole message that's built on top of it? I mean, if there's no up, does that mean there's no heaven? This is the exact crisis that a 20th century theologian named Rudolf Bultmann decided to face head-on, and his solution was, it was radical, and it changed everything. He basically argued we've been reading the map all wrong. Bultmann came up with this process he called demythologizing, and it's so important to get this right. He wasn't trying to just delete the stories or throw out the myths. No way. He was arguing that our job is to translate them, to pull the essential truth out of the ancient mythological box it was delivered in. You see, Bultmann's huge insight was that these myths, like the 3-story universe, were never meant to be science textbooks. Their real job was to say something true about what it means to be human. They're not cosmology, they're really a form of existentialism. And this quote from Bultmann just nails it. When an ancient text says God is in heaven, it's not giving you a physical address. It's using the language of up to express a mind-bending idea that God is totally other, that he is beyond our world, he's transcendent. The location isn't the point, the otherness is the point. Okay, so if the message isn't a map of the universe, then what is it? Well, according to Bultmann, once you peel away that mythological wrapper, you find something way more personal, way more urgent, and aimed directly at you. For Bultmann, the whole point of these texts is to confront you, the person reading it right here, right now, with a decision that could change everything. It's not about giving you a history lesson or facts about the cosmos. It's about forcing you to make a choice. He says the text isn't a textbook, it's a summons. Jesus isn't just some teacher of timeless truths. He's the revealer who reveals only one thing. That he is the revealer. And what that does is it yanks you out of just passively taking in information. It forces you into this active state of decision. Are you in or are you out? But, as you can imagine, Bultmann's really radical idea wasn't just accepted by everyone. Oh no, it kicked off one of the biggest theological debates of the 20th century with another absolute giant in the field. And here's where Karl Barth enters the picture. He looked at what Bultmann was doing and got worried. He feared that by translating everything into a message about us and our decision, Bultmann was at risk of losing the message about God and what he actually did in history. For Barth, the story itself mattered, not just how we felt about it. And their disagreement really boils down to this. For Bultmann, the real action is the character of your belief, the decision you make. For Barth, it's the content of what is believed, the actual story of what God has done. So for Bultmann, myth is like a shell you have to crack open to get the good stuff inside. But for Barth, that same mythical language is the only way the story can even be told.
And this quote right here gets to the heart of Barth's anxiety. He's basically saying, look, if you translate away all the so-called mythical parts, like the Son of God coming down from heaven, you might not be translating the story anymore. You might just be erasing it completely.
So this leaves us with this incredible fundamental question, and it's summed up perfectly here. Is the Bible a mirror designed to reflect your own crises and force you to make a decision? Or is it a window designed to let you look through it and see something outside of yourself, the story of God's actions in the world? And that's the question I want to leave you with, because it goes way beyond just theology. It's about how we find meaning in any ancient story, any powerful text. Is the ultimate truth found in the world the story creates for us, or is it found in the way that story turns around, looks right back at us, and demands that we choose?